Okay, so a little background before we get into this. Andor came out last Tuesday, and it created what one might call a controversy over a scene in episode 3, which I honestly just didn't even think would be anything. It really wasn't anything, but it became a big deal on the interwebs, and some people had an argument about this on a stream, and this guy is going to give his opinions on how he thought that went. And so we're going to check it out. Fair warning, I don't think whatever you think is going to happen, you are so not ready for what you're about to consume. But I suppose we shouldn't put it off any longer. Let's just get started.
So, with some recent drama from Andor Season 2, Star Wars Theory has the entire internet trying to destroy him, and that includes right-wing, anti-woke bastions of hope as well. Now,
So already I'm just beyond confused. I don't know what bastions, anti-woke bastions. I don't even know what he's talking about. I was just like, wait, isn't this a video about Star Wars? Let's see what he says.
not one to be taking part in drama, but this is a situation where a truly authentic creator like Star Wars Theory is being dogpiled by a big load of freaks who need to be called out. But before he
Oh my gosh, freaks. It's poor people that just disagree are now crazy freaks to shouldn't be allowed to bastionize Star Wars Theory's pure authentic self. Oh my gosh, we got a purist here.
we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or becoming a patron. So over here is the drama that I'm talking about, and in my opinion, Star Wars Theory is doing a great job because he's
Okay, well, hold on, let's read it. Sexual assault in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Empire in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. Vader wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Empire condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. Unnecessary. So, I think I talked about this a little bit when I was covering the episodes, but the whole like it doesn't make sense in universe is stupid. Like I don't understand. Vader doesn't like it doesn't matter. Vader wasn't there, and it doesn't matter whether the Empire officially condones anything. You know, the Empire's made up of people who can sometimes do bad things, like what we saw. Like I said, it was crazy that this developed into anything other than just like you said. Oh, yep, that happened. But here we are. But let's see how Star Wars Theory is a genius on this.
just proving that the people who hate him are just freaks. So here's the original tweet that
and they're just freaks. This proves that any disagreement with this are just you're a freak.
kind of started it. Star Wars Theory says SA in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Empire in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. That's a perfectly normal statement. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Then he says
Oh, okay. I'll just take your word. You could have made an argument for why that makes sense, but no, just say, yeah, he's right. Done. End of story.
Vader wouldn't tolerate that crap, nor does the Empire condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. Unnecessary. So yeah, is the line about Vader and the Empire not condoning it a bit strange, but in my opinion, he's not really far off. Because if you're an actual fan of the franchise, you realize that Vader isn't just Space Mustache Man from World War II. He actually...
What do you mean? So many people in World War II had mustaches who were good guys and bad. What do you mean? And also, like, again, Vader has just nothing to do with the conversation at all. It's like, you question whether or not these people, like, watched the show. Did they think that Vader was, like, in the scene? Did they think Vader's in the show at all? Because he's not. Vader's not a part of the show at all. And the planet this takes place on is probably, like thousands of millions of miles away from where Vader is. This probably happens all the time, and Vader does not know or care about it. So I don't know.
he does have good in him, and if you can't see that, then you're not a Star Wars fan. And also, it's Star Wars. I don't care what you want to say about him saying Vader and the Empire wouldn't condone it. It's Star Wars. There's no place for it anywhere near the franchise, and he would know because
Okay. Says you, I guess. There's no place for it in Star Wars because you say so. Random person, guy. What do you... What makes you so... What gives you this higher fan status that I'm not privy to?
it. It's Star Wars. There's no place for it anywhere near the franchise. And he would know because he's a Star Wars fan. Don't try to pull up some weird Legends comic or some book from last year saying, well, this also had SA in it. It doesn't matter. It wasn't in the first 6 movies, the majority of books and comics. Most of
So again, we'll just have to remind this guy, Leia got kind of sexually assaulted by Jabba. I'm not sure if you remember that with the tongue. He did that. He did the ho 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 ho. Yeah. I think Ventress actually assaulted someone, like sexually assaulted someone in Clone Wars. I can't remember. I think she did that. But, that's not the first 6 movies, so it wouldn't fall under this guy's radar. But, we do see some similarly bad things. I mean, Anakin, domestically abuses his wife before indirectly causing her death. Bix, the character that this whole controversy surrounds, actually got tortured last season. She got, mind raped, so I guess no one had a problem with that. But as soon as, she got hit on by the Imperial guy, it's like, no, we have gone too far. It's not Star Wars anymore. I feel like I'm forgetting a few. Yeah, I guess child enslavement, murder, torture, all these things are fine, but those belong in Star Wars. You can have those, but not this one thing that there wasn't even a sexual component to it. She had a fight with him, and she killed him, and that was it.
which you haven't read, whoever is arguing here against Star Wars theory. Of course, this guy from all people would say that. Skull emoji. Say what? That SA in a kid's franchise is not necessary. I hate to say it, pal.
It's a kid's franchise, guys. You can't have something like... Even though that's not even true, it's a TV-14 show that's clearly aimed towards adults, and everyone says it's for adults, but now that this happens, no, guys, it's kids. It's for kids. Kids can't see this. They can see all that other stuff I just mentioned, but not this. It's just such a weak argument. It's like as if you can't have something like this, this tame in a kid show, which most kids aren't even watching. Whatever.
But with this tweet that you just put out at Star Wars Theory, you just proved that you're a retard. And trust me, this guy isn't alone. There's tons of freaks all across the internet
Freaks.
who are trans, furries, who all hate Star Wars Theory and are bringing up words.
If you disagree about Star Wars Theory's stupid take on the scene, you're a trans furry. So just shut up.
Like, this guy's not a good person. You can't talk about any moral superiority when you're like a furry, you freak. This guy here actually opposes it, saying another tweet of people taking theory out of context and crapping on him. The freak responds, and what's the original
freak response? Oh man, I think it's the accent that's getting me. The freak responds.
context? Enlighten me, please. I don't want to see that word in Star Wars. I don't know why this is a thing being pushed on me to have to want to be cool with. Once again, it's a perfectly normal statement that still stands. People have to realize that just because the Empire is the bad guys in Star Wars doesn't mean they have to commit real world atrocities and bad things. Like, that's an...
Like, what, you mean like the genocide when they blew up Alderaan? That was a similar to like a real world atrocity that happened. Or several of them that happened. Also, like murder and killing people and exploitation. That's all like real world stuff that happens. So what are you even talking about? I think the disconnect here is that like this is just a certain bad thing that like strikes these people like personally for some, like this is one that like strikes them, so they're just like, well, I don't like it now. So in retrospect, the Empire never had to do bad things to show that they were evil. So it's like, okay, so if we never saw them do any bad things, how would we know they were bad? right? Like the Empire did bad things in the other movies and stuff that we were like I just don't understand.
Argument that a lot of these people are making, saying that, oh, the Empire enslaves planets and takes out
Yep.
millions of people.
Yep.
And you're trying to say that they wouldn't do that? But
True.
theory
Yep.
is right. They wouldn't do that because it's Star Wars, a fictional universe that never had any of this weird stuff in it. I'm just gonna
I already said whatever. You know, whatever.
say something. I don't care if you're left or right. If you disagree with this, go screw yourself. Star Wars never
Alrighty.
had swearing or SA anywhere near it. And what's the brand new thing that they just both appeared in and were brought into the Star Wars universe? Andor, some crappy Trump allegory woke fest. People
Okay, so now we know for sure this guy just hasn't. This guy didn't watch the show. He just saw like he opened up Twitter and he saw all the arguments happening and he's like, I'm gonna talk about this now because there's no way he would just. There's no one who sits down and watches season 1 and then goes into this season will just conclude, oh yeah, it's nothing more than just a woke Trump allegory. That's what the show is. It's like no, it's an actual like story, like with characters and like a plot and events and themes and everything. It's not just like a stupid like political pandering device. But I swear people just don't watch the show before they make their comments and it's so dumb. I don't know why. Like why do you feel so confident in your retarded opinion?
of color swearing, stuff like this. It's fake Star Wars. Why would you ever defend it?
Wait,
And
wait,
that
wait. Did you say people of color it's fake Star Wars?
allegory woke fest. People of color swearing, stuff like this.
It's not Star Wars. There's people of color in it. She isn't. It's like,
It's fake
I can't. I can't. People like this are real. There's real people out there that say stuff like this. Can you believe it?
Star Wars. Why would you ever defend it?
There's
And
no
that brings
black
me on to
people
the
in Star
right-wing
Wars.
People that also have a problem with theory. People like the critical drinker and Mauler who have no backbone.
My argument.
You say, wait, I can't.
And that brings me on to the right-wing people that also have a problem with theory. People like the critical drinker and Mauler who
So Drinker and Mahler are now right wing. Why? As far as I know, they don't talk about politics. They're media channels. So what? How do you know they're right? Why do you think they're right wing? Who gave you that impression, sir? Is it because they didn't like they didn't like the Minecraft movie? That's probably it. That only a right winger would.
who have no backbone.
My argument in my tweet was like, I don't think that if Vader saw some shit like that happening, I don't think he would leave it unchecked. I don't think he would walk by.
Like Vader's opinions on this wouldn't be relevant, right?
He's still Anakin at the end of the day, and Anakin wouldn't stand for that shit.
No, but it's just not relevant. Like, why would Vader's opinion matter here?
I just don't think that that's something that the Empire would be cool with if they actually saw it. I don't think it
I think the Empire wouldn't give a shit about the people that they're subjugating and murdering in mass levels. And
Shut up, bitch!
That's the point that they're making here.
You really got her there. So like I saw this stream, and they had this little argument about the scene, and Star Wars Theory's arguments were like pathetic. He basically just says, well, Vader wouldn't tolerate it, the Empire wouldn't do it, just like he says in his tweet. And then when he's always clicked with like, oh yeah, Vader wasn't there, and like it doesn't matter. This is like an outer rim system where the Empire doesn't have a huge presence, and the Empire that is there don't have like huge managerial oversight. So
Here it's like, okay, when you've got no real oversight and you've essentially got unlimited power
there you
over
go.
this little community or whatever, what are guys like that going to do?
Okay, so first of all, the person tweeting this is some non-white person saying theory got cooked.
why does he say that so much? He's like, look how the freak responds, and the person who did this post is a non-white. Wait, how do you know, first of all? And so, like, why does it matter? Why do you care so much? What do you have against the whites? Is it because you're, like, Irish or something, and only the purest of white skin can be allowed to digest their opinion onto the internet? Is that what's going on here?
Lamau, go back to wherever you came from. You come down and there's already a trans flag. Freak. You come down just a little bit more and there's furries and Palestine flags and more gay people. Talking about the actual clip itself, it's really...
Could you just like, he's not going to talk about like what they actually said. He's not going to like address any other arguments for why he might be wrong. He's just be like, oh, they're this, they're this, they're this. So let's just write them off. They can't be correct about this. Whatever.
Annoying that Critical Drinker and Mauler, two people that are supposed to be fighting against wokeness, are just bending the knee and defending Andor and don't even...
Oh, so there's first of all, what are they supposed to? Why are they supposed to fight against wokeness? When was that something they like had to do? They just talk about movies and stuff. They're not in some like epic battle to fight like the woke machine. They might dislike it, maybe, I don't know, but you're just like throwing this onto them. You're just like, yeah, this is what they should be. There's a whatever. And what's the second thing you said?
Wokeness are just bending the knee and defending Andor. And don't even get me started with that stupid bitch who should keep her mouth shut. I don't know who you are. Why are you trying to stand up to the guy who has Star Wars in his channel name? You're trying to...
What? He has Star Wars in his name, so he has supreme authority over the subject. Do you think, this would be funny, do you think if like a channel called like Rape Expert or whatever, like was talking to this guy and he's like, yeah, you know, I actually think the scene in Andor is pretty justified and actually a respectful way to show sexual assault and the dangers of it in society, and it's a really tasteful scene that's done very well. We just be like, all right, well, I'm out. Rape experts laid down the hammer, and there's nothing more I could say. I mean, the expert has spoken, right? You gotta start thinking about this stuff, bud. You gotta start thinking it through.
Correct him on Star Wars lore. You retard. Critical Drinker is somebody who I've never watched. I want nothing got to do with the guy because he's a retard who has no backbone. No.
So this is a crazy development. He's never watched him. He doesn't watch his content at all, but he's concluded that he is right wing and that it is his duty to fight against wokeness. You determined all that from never watching his content. How? I'm so curious. How? Is it because some random person online made a video saying the Critical Drinker is right wing, and you're like, yeah, that sounds about right. Whatever. Do I have to watch the content to confirm? No, screw it. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Andor isn't good. Neither is Daredevil Born Again or the sequel trilogy or...
I agree with that. Daredevil Born Again is not good. Neither is the sequel trilogy. But Andor's pretty good. You should go watch it. And then you should make a follow-up video apologizing for being a retard.
Furiosa or any new woke piece of crap, and this guy is always there to back it up and say, well, it was actually pretty good. And Mauler as well.
He didn't watch it. He doesn't watch it. He's totally right. He wasn't lying when he said he doesn't watch their stuff, because they didn't defend Daredevil Born Again. They hated it. They famously hate the sequels. And I don't remember them like going out of the gate like sucking off Furiosa. I think they said it was fine. So this guy he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just all over the place.
I don't know what you're doing trying to pull him up and correct Star Wars theory, going, well, how is that relevant?
Oh god, no, please, Drinker, don't disrespect Star Wars theory. He's a Star Wars expert. He's gotta be right. Stop. He's already dead. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt my boyfriend, Star Wars theory. Shut up.
How is that relevant? Watch Return of the Jedi, where Vader, at the end of it, the whole point of the movie is that Anakin was still inside of him. He's still a good person. Stop trying to interject and correct the dude that knows more about the thing that you're talking about. You spastic. And it's not just me.
I need to go with I need to be like, what should be the name? The name should be like, political... Prince or something like that, and I'm just like an expert in politics, and like I try to run in like the next like senator race for my state, and then there's like, I don't think you have much experience. Like, oh, I have a YouTube channel called Political Prince, and I'm actually an expert. I know more about all the political stuff than you do, so shut up and vote me in. Unlimited power, ha 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 ha, and then I win. Apparently that's the way the world works.
I think that a lot of people out there who are fans of Star Wars and comics and movies are getting let down by these people who, I'm annoyed to say it, are grifters. And that's something that gets thrown around a lot, but it actually is the truth in this situation. Why are you defending Andor? It's some piece of crap. Why aren't you turning around and say, well, whatever happens in Andor doesn't really matter because it's fake Star Wars. It was made last week. Why are we even talking?
It was made last week. It's fake Star Wars. Does this guy, like, have mental deficiency? Does he know? This has to be a parody video. This can't be real. This is, like, one of the worst videos I've ever seen. And it's so weird that, like, this is, like, what they finally jump back on for, I think it's interesting because I'm not sure if you remember, but, like, Game of Thrones had this similar thing where all the Game of Thrones channels, as soon as season 8 ended, they all just, like, died because everyone hated the show. And, like, when House of the Dragon came out, they were finally, like, it was like a glass of fresh water. They were finally, like, rehydrated back into, like, some relevancy. And I think all these, like, ironic he calls them grifters, but I think these, like, actual Star Wars media grifters, and to an extent, even Star Wars theory, when Star Wars has become so clearly unrelevant and dead in terms of its place in culture, whenever just, like, anything comes up to, like, talk about, it has to become this, like, big conversation that gets a lot of attention and gets a lot of people going. Because if it was just, like, if they accepted what the truth is which is that season 2 is just, like, really boring and slow for its start, there's just not much to discuss in terms of what's happening, they would just be, like, irrelevant again. So they have to make this conversation just as obnoxious as possible to try to get any lick of attention out of it. At least that's my theory. That's just a theory, a Star Wars theory. But yeah.
Talking about it. Seriously, you can't trust anybody in this day and age. And the funny thing is, Star Wars theory isn't even right-wing or anything. The dude is just a normal fan of Star Wars.
Okay, so Star Wars theory is just normal. He's fine. He's not right-wing. I don't know how you know that, but all those other people, they're definitely right-wing. All those people that disagree with him. I know this because I'm, is this guy Scottish or Irish or what is he? Is he Welsh? It doesn't even matter. Whatever people he belongs to, you should be ashamed for having this as your Star Wars representative. This is terrible.
Probably why I respect him more than the critical drinker, because the dude is actually authentic and believes what he's saying. He doesn't want politics.
Yeah, whatever. He has authentic bad opinions. Then he authentically has bad arguments, and he's authentically just dumb. I don't know what to say. His whole reasoning for this thing is dumb.
Or swearing or weird crap getting forced into Star Wars that was never there to begin with. So if you agree with me on the fact that Star Wars theory does not deserve this and what he's saying is the truth, then do let me know. And if you're a left-wing freak furry who hates Star Wars theory, or if you're a spineless grifter hack like the critical drinker, then you can go screw yourself and go complain to your boyfriend.
Alrighty then. I guess you can't be like just a normal person who disagrees. You have to be this weird, what did he say? Gay, furry, freak, whatever. So yes, this is just, now you know where we are in the. This is a conversation about Star Wars, by the way. This is what it's come to. No one's talking about anything actually interesting about the show. Because there is stuff to talk about with the actual story and everything. But no, this is where we go. It's back to the culture war, back to the left versus right again with Andor. It's something that, like, no one's watching, and this is what it's become. But I think by next week when we get the next arc of the episodes, no one will care anymore. We can just go back to talking about the nerd stuff. This guy will be nowhere to be found. He'll go on saying, like, Until Dawn's woke garbage or whatever. But he'll get away from us and our Star Wars coverage, hopefully. Yeah. But I think that about wraps it up. I just wanted to get that out there so people know that this is a real thing, because I just scrolled across it, randomly when I was looking for Andor stuff, and I couldn't believe it. It was shocking. It was truly shocking. So yeah, good stuff.